Residents in the Kindred community are upset. They are saying there is a monster living in their neighborhood. Aaron Bever, a high-risk sex offender, recently moved to the area. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has a story tonight about what Kindred residents are hoping will change to keep their children safe.
Aaron Bever was convicted on 2 counts of 4th-degree sexual assault. His victim was a 6-year-old girl. He recently moved to Kindred, and residents are scared.
We have kids, and my mom comes out with foster kids. You know, we live a little over 2 miles, so it's just kind of scary. What is he doing here? Why?
They want him gone, but they say it's a difficult situation.
He's going to go somewhere, right? Everyone has kids everywhere, so a long-standing problem with this general class of situation is that there's not really a good answer.
Many residents have young children. Others own daycares. Local resident Michelle has kids of her own, and she is concerned about having the sex offender near her home.
The age of his victim, you know, it's just creepy. It's terrible. I just want to know where he is and keep an eye on him for the safety of our kids.
Authorities plan on keeping residents informed on Bever's whereabouts. They say that he is not allowed to live within 500 miles of a school or daycare, but residents are concerned that he could still interact with their children, even if he isn't living near them. In Kindred, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
And as of last night, Aaron Bever has a new address. He's now staying at the Knights Inn in Wahpeton, but he is still working in Richland County. If you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call us on our whistleblower hotline at 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and then go to work to expose the truth. Coming up after weather, why neighborhoods on the south side of Grand Forks won't pay their special assessment taxes until 2020. Plus, more details emerge on the California mass shooting from this afternoon. But first, Robert, it was a nasty recipe for us this evening with fog and some drizzle. We're going to see some overnight temps drop.
Yeah, temperatures will continue to drop in a lot of areas, especially east of the Red River, still dealing with a lot of fog, but not so much so here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Live look outside on the Coronado.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network. You see traffic pretty darn slow moving eastbound. Some construction on the Red River Bridge causing that slowdown, and that's going to be there for quite a while. 37 degrees now, winds out of the west at 10, giving us a wind chill of 30. A few degrees cooler across the river, 34 degrees over in Moorhead. Temperatures elsewhere down to 30 in Cavalier, 32 Langdon, 33 Devils Lake, and in Grand Forks. 41, however, still in Detroit Lakes and Fergus Falls. Cool air continuing to make its way off towards the east with some westerly and northwesterly winds. Those will increase as we head through the overnight hours and into the day tomorrow. Some gusty northwest winds bringing in that colder air. Wind chills, not too bad yet, but they'll become more of an issue overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow. Temperatures steady to slowly falling throughout the day. Coldest wind chills right now, Devils Lake and Langdon with wind chills of 22. I mentioned the fog, dense fog advisory into this area. Still seeing visibilities common at a quarter of a mile or even less in some cases. Thief River Falls, Fosston, Detroit Lakes, and Fergus Falls, as well as in Park Rapids and in Wadena. But where that cool air, drier air has made its way on in, visibilities are good to go. Cloud cover, we've got quite a bit of it. A break in the clouds and then more cloudiness. And underneath these clouds, we're showing some precipitation in the form of some rain and some snow. A lot of that not reaching the ground, but could see a few sprinkles, a few flakes of snow in the cooler air as we head through this evening. Not going to amount to very much, though, as it continues to slide off toward the east. A few sprinkles also over in Minnesota and across the national map outside of this area. A little bit of higher elevation snow, lower elevation rain across the Pacific Northwest, and quiet conditions for much of the eastern seaboard. For us, that cooler air will continue to slide off towards the east, and that little area of rain and or snow will continue to dissipate as we head towards tomorrow morning. Through the day tomorrow, cold, some mostly cloudy skies, maybe a few flurries in northern Minnesota, and temperatures steady to slowly falling. We'll see wind chills in the single digits in the Devil's Lake Basin, teens elsewhere. Tomorrow evening, another cold evening. Here in Fargo, we'll start off the day at 30. Temperatures go the wrong direction into the upper 20s by your noontime hour, and by later on in the afternoon into the mid-20s with winds making it feel much colder than that. Picture of the day. Thanks so much to Barbara for sending this in. A fiery sunset. Going to use that as the backdrop to our 7-day forecast. And strong northerly winds tomorrow. Temperatures falling. Strong southerly winds on Thursday. Temperatures warm. Strong northerly winds return on Friday as temperatures fall with some late day snowflakes lingering into early Saturday. Cold on Saturday, not as cold Sunday and Monday.
It's going to be awfully chilly, though, this weekend, waking up, though.
And tomorrow is going to feel a lot colder than we saw today.
All right. Thank you, Robert. We're following a robbery investigation out of Grand Forks tonight. Police say they have one suspect in custody, and they're looking for another. This is after a home break-in and an attack of a homeowner over the weekend. Officers are on the lookout for this man, 40-year-old Casey Featherstone. He's wanted on a long list of charges, including robbery, burglary, aggravated assault, and terrorizing. The home invasion and robbery happened just after 10 o'clock Friday night at a home northwest of Jaycees Park. Authorities have already arrested Garrett Featherstone of our Villa in connection with Saturday's break-in. He's facing charges of conspiracy to commit robbery and burglary, along with drug possession charges. If you have any information about Casey Featherstone to police, give them a call at 701-787-8000, or you can leave them an anonymous tip. We've got information on how to do that on our website at valleynewslive.com. Authorities have released the name of a man killed in a crash involving a semi near Edgeley, North Dakota last week. State troopers say 79-year-old Coral Bardell of Monogno died from his injuries. Bardell was driving south on 85th Avenue Southeast when he went through an intersection with a stop sign and was hit by a semi heading east on Lemoore County Road 34. Both vehicles rolled in a ditch. The semi driver, a 41-year-old man from Sturham, was taken to a hospital with minor injuries. We now know the name of the North Dakota woman killed in a rollover crash that ended with her SUV upside down in an icy river in Walsh County. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says 30-year-old Elizabeth Necht of Forest River died at the scene of the crash about a mile south of Minto. They say she was driving north on 150th Avenue Northeast when she hit the ditch, went over the riverbank, and rolled. The SUV went through the ice of the Forest River, and emergency crews found the vehicle upside down and partially submerged Monday morning. Another mass shooting today, this one in Northern California early this morning. When it was all over, 5 people were dead, another 10 people injured, including 2 children. It started just before 8 a.m. local time in a small community about 130 miles north of Sacramento. Investigators say for about 45 minutes, the gunman opened fire in 7 different locations, including shooting into a car as a woman was driving her kids to school. The mother and child were both hit. The gunman's last stop was an elementary school where he fired multiple shots into the building, hitting one child. And minutes later, the gunman was shot and killed by deputies. Investigators say it may have stemmed from a domestic incident and have not yet released the name of the shooter. Attorney General Jeff Sessions fielded tough questions from the House Judiciary Committee today, particularly on whether he had previously lied under oath about Russia. The hearing was at times contentious, as Sessions fiercely defended his honesty and integrity. Malalenki has the latest from Capitol Hill.
I've always told the truth.
In more than 5 hours of testimony, Attorney General Jeff Sessions denied ever lying to panels investigating Russian meddling in the 2016 election.
I will not accept and reject accusations that I have ever lied. That is a lie.
Just months ago, Sessions testified he had no knowledge of any contacts between the Trump campaign and Russia, before later admitting he met with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak twice last year. Tuesday, he acknowledged being in this meeting when Trump advisor George Papadopoulos offered to go to Russia on behalf of the campaign.
I would gladly have reported it had I remembered it, because I pushed back against his suggestion that I thought may have been improper.
While House Democrats mostly grilled Sessions on Russia, Republicans pressed the Attorney General on other matters, including Hillary Clinton.
What's it going to take to actually get a special counsel?
It will take a factual basis that meets the standards of the appointment of a special counsel.
On Monday, Sessions cleared the way for DOJ officials to look into whether a special counsel should investigate a controversial uranium deal involving the Clinton Foundation and a Russian company. During his testimony, Sessions maintained politics would not play a role in its review. Mola Lengi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
On Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore, Sessions testified he had no reason to doubt the women who have accused Moore of sexual misconduct. Grand Forks City Council members discussed pushing back payments for special assessments in a new South Side neighborhood. The special assessment deferment program is incentive for developers to make more lots for their homes. More homes drives up supply and is supposed to drive down costs for new homeowners. Some city council members are worried that initial tax breaks won't hit unprepared homeowners when their monthly payments shoot up around 30% after 3 years. Realtors say it's all about supply and demand.
Typically in Grand Forks, you'll see developers bring in, 30 lots, maybe 40 lots, and this is bringing in 100. So you're starting to see a lot more buildable lots, which obviously then allows for more homes to be developed.
The newest neighborhoods on the south side of Grand Forks wouldn't pay their special assessment taxes until 2020. We have more information about the deferred special assessments on our website. Just go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. The line was long tonight outside the Fargo Theater for the Fargo premiere of the documentary, The Mission of Herman Stern. Family and friends were among the large crowd who came out to learn about Stern's life after immigrating from Germany as a teenager. It's the story of the North Dakota businessman who survived the Holocaust and saved more than 120 Jews from Germany as Adolf Hitler rose to power. One of Stern's grandsons says what happened then has similarities to what's happening now.
You can substitute, Muslims, Somalis, Sudanese, Iraqis for Jews now, and that's the same now. It's very difficult.
The 32-minute documentary was made with an accompanying curriculum that will be made available to schools in North Dakota. Hate crimes continue to be a problem throughout the country, and a recent FBI report tells two different stories in North Dakota and in Minnesota. Such crimes in North Dakota dropped for the second straight year in 2016. In Minnesota, there was an increase for the second straight year. In North Dakota, there were 7 incidents involving hate crimes related to race or ethnicity and 1 involving religion. In Minnesota, 77 incidents, race or ethnicity, along with 15 related to a person's sexual orientation and 30 related to religion. We're serving up another round of Restaurant Report Card. Who faces those critical violations is still ahead tonight.